Welcome to the Ashland Branch of Pamunkey Regional Library. Let's grow some sunflowers. First, let's find out a few things about sunflowers. The botanical name is Helianthus annuus. Helia meaning sun, anthus, flower, and annus, common. It's a member of the daisy family. Sunflowers are native to North America and were first cultivated by North Americans in the Southwest and Mississippi River basins as early as 3000 BCE. The natives used them as a source of medicine, fiber, seeds, and oil. Sunflowers were taken to Europe by early settlers. They became an agricultural crop in Russia, where they provided a source of oil that could be eaten without breaking church dietary laws. The U.S. began commercial production to produce vegetable oil in the 1960s. They are called sunflowers because the young plants will track the sun as it moves across the sky each day. The term for this is heliotropic. It is not as prominent on mature blossoms because of their weight. A sunflower head is made up of 2,000 separate tiny flowers and can produce 1,000 to 2,000 seeds. As a food, seeds can be eaten raw, dried, roasted, or ground into butter. It has vitamin B and E. The sprouts have vitamin C as well. It has minerals, magnesium, and selenium, almost as much protein as a similar weight of ground beef, and twice as much iron and potassium. Sunflower sprouts are also edible. Sunflowers also produce a yellow dye. Leaves are used as fodder. Sunflower oil is used as food for table use or cooking use. It's used to feed stock and poultry. It's used in making soap, paint, and as a lubricant. Sunflowers are used in agriculture, often planted close to or interspersed with other crops to attract pollinators. So why should we plant sunflowers? There are a bunch of good reasons. They are easy to grow, and pollinators like butterflies, moths, and bees feed on the nectar of sunflowers. We need healthy pollinators to make many of our food plants grow and produce the foods we eat, like apples and tomatoes, beans and spices, peppers and wheat, and so much more. All those pollinators, plus the sunflower seeds themselves, attract the birds we love to watch. Those birds also eat unwanted insects, so let's invite them into our yards and gardens. Sunflower seeds are a great food for wildlife, birds, squirrels, raccoons, even bears, and they're good for people. They make great cut flowers. Who doesn't love a fresh bouquet of smiling sunflowers? When you grow sunflowers, in addition to the large, beautiful flowers, you get free edible seeds for you as well as for the wildlife. Sunflowers are phytoremediators, which means plant remedy, because they can remove toxic heavy metal contaminants and poisonous chemicals from the soil, like lead, arsenic, zinc, chromium, cadmium, copper, and manganese. Now, there are many varieties of sunflowers, over 70 in fact. The normal size of a sunflower is 5 to 10 feet tall. The tallest on record is over 30 feet. Some dwarfs may be as short as 1 foot tall. Some sunflowers have multiple heads, and others have only one head. Some sunflowers come in colors other than yellow. Some have large heads with lots and lots of seeds. Others have smaller heads with fewer seeds. But there's a variety for everyone. So where do I want to plant my sunflowers? What do they need? They need 6 to 8 hours of direct sun per day. Tall varieties may need extra support to hold up those large, heavy heads. Bamboo poles are one option for creating support. Taller varieties may also need an area protected from high winds. A sunny corner near your house or by a sheltered fence will help keep them standing tall. Sunflowers are not too picky about their soil type. but they do need deep, loose soil to accommodate the long taproot. They prefer good drainage. They'll need water, as much as several gallons of water per week per plant, depending on your climate conditions. And the seeds typically take 7 to 10 days to sprout and 2 to 4 months to bloom, depending on variety. Now let's go outside and plant some sunflowers.
Hi, let's try planting our sunflowers now. You can plant your seeds directly in the ground, but if you're like here at the library, we don't have a lot of space outside to put seeds in the ground. We are using pots, and I've got nice 5-gallon buckets here that I'm using as my pots. One of the advantages of pots too, in addition to planting where you don't have the ground, is you can move them around. And I will be putting several pots around the library in various places, and we'll compare how they grow and see if one spot is better than another. In most places, July is too late to plant anything or too early to plant fall crops. But sunflowers are one thing that we can plant in July and expect to have them bloom before cold weather sets in. And as you can see, I'm using these 5-gallon buckets for planters. Sunflowers are tall and they need a deep taproot to support that tall stem and those heavy heads of flowers. So that's why the large bucket, which has lots of room for a deep taproot. I started by adding some rocks to the bottom of my pot for drainage because sunflowers like good drainage. You could also put holes in the bottoms of your pots, but I didn't want to do that, so I put some rocks in there for some drainage. Then I am using some flower and vegetable garden soil from a garden store. You can use soil from your own yard. You can use potting soil or just anything you can get at garden store, or like I say, dig your own. And then we add this to the pot. We want to fill it up a good bit. So now I'm going to show you, rather than wait for the dirt to come out of the bucket, we're going to show you here. We've got a bucket that's already been prepared, and this soil is very loose because they like loose soil for those roots to grow in, and that also promotes good drainage. Now the flower seeds I have, we are going to be handing out some seed packets along with some directions for you here at the Ashland Branch Library, and you can come pick these up. So you see that I am using the exact same seeds that we will be passing out to you. And this is a variety of sunflower called Autumn Beauty. They should grow 5 to 8 feet tall. And we're going to start by planting seeds. I'm going to put 4 seeds per pot. So I'm just planting them in here very shallow, about half to 3/4 of an inch. And see, I've already put them in there. You couldn't have seen the seeds anyway on that dirt. So I've already put them in there and just covered them up and tapped it down gently. I'm saving the rest of those seeds for my other pots. And we're starting with 3 to 4 seeds per pot, or if you're planting them in the ground, you start with seeds about 4 to 5 inches apart. Next, we need to water our plants. So I have a bucket of water right here, and we need to water well. We're going to want to keep our seeds damp until they sprout. Once they sprout, they'll need watering about once a week with up to several gallons of water if they're in the ground. You won't use that much in the pots. But remember, too much water will cause the roots to rot, and not enough water will cause the plant to wilt and die. So you want just the right amount of water. But you can only judge that by by feeling the ground itself. And if it feels damp, it's okay. When it dries up, then it's time for more water. When the plants get to your second set of leaves come out on the plant, that's time to thin your plants. You will thin them to one plant every 12 inches in the ground, or one plant per pot if you're doing potted sunflowers. Then sit back and watch your plants grow. It'll take about 2 weeks for your sprouts to come up and about 2 months before you start seeing a bloom. Okay, let's go back and review everything online.
Okay, let's review. You want to choose your spot for your sunflowers. We need 6 to 8 hours of direct sun per day. You're going to prepare your soil so it's loose, well drained, and deep for that deep taproot. You're going to sow your seeds 4 to 5 inches apart and half an inch deep on the ground, or 3 to 4 seeds per pot, also half an inch deep. You're going to water the soil and keep the soil damp until your seeds sprout. Then you'll water once a week or so, depending on your weather conditions. You're going to wait. The seeds will germinate in 5 to 12 days. And once you've got your seedlings are a few inches tall, or the second set of leaves has appeared, you're going to thin your seedlings to 1 every 12 inch or 1 per pot. And then watch. And around 2 months out, they will start to bloom. And we invite you to follow the library plants at the Ashland Branch and on the Pamunkey Regional Library Facebook page. We mentioned earlier that sunflowers are great for feeding pollinators. Here are some sunflower pollination facts. Each sunflower head has 1,000 to 4,000 individual tiny flowers. The large petals, the florets, around the head are sterile, so they don't make seeds. Only the inner flowers make seeds. Bees of many varieties are the primary pollinators of sunflowers. Other pollinators include butterflies, beetles, wasps, birds, and more. Sunflowers pollinated by bees produce 90% more seeds, and native bees are more effective pollinators than the imported honeybee that we're familiar with. Beginning July 1st, pick up your seeds. Stop by our library regularly to see how our plant's doing, or check up on them on the Pamunkey Regional Library Facebook page, where we will post pictures regularly. We'd love to see your sunflowers, so please share pictures on our Facebook page. Check out this great citizen science project. Use your sunflowers to help pollinators by studying how often they visit. It's very easy to sign up on the noted website. Then we'd love to hear about your experience, both growing sunflowers or if you participate in the project. Come visit us and tell us about it. Thanks for watching. Look for more great programs at the Pamunkey Regional Library.